former Prime Minister has joined the debate about the National Identification System NIDs, weighing in on some of the concerns while raising others of his own. While indicating that he supports the introduction of the new ID system, Bruce Golding says some concerns should be addressed before going forward, while others are just ludicrous. TVJ's Herman Green reports.
For former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, a national identification system has been a long time in the making, as he was part of a team working on establishing such a system in 1979. That attempt, he recalls, was scaled down to a voter's ID system because of concerns and details that needed to be finalized in a relatively short time. Speaking at a recent political science lecture series at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean campus in Kingston, Mr. Golding raised those concerns, starting with information security.
If WikiLeaks could break into the State Department technology and steal Hillary Clinton business, then what is for like Jamaica for them to find out? No. So that's an area that I would want greater assurance on.
He listed different agencies such as the police having secured levels of access to the information as another concern which needs to be ventilated. He believes that with most aspects of life going digital, Jamaica needs to operate as a modern society. He notes that most Jamaicans accept new biometric measures, including himself the last time he traveled.
The man put a camera in my eye. He photographed my eye. He has data about my, what do you call this, biometric here. He has data about that I don't have. My own government don't have that. But the American government has it. And I didn't pick up no fuss. I wanted to go look for my daughter, and if you want to take the foot button, you can take it. I just wanted to see my daughter.
He knows that there have always been resistance to new systems and changes locally, including the National Insurance Scheme and family planning, which was labeled as a measure to reduce the black population.
I don't have the time to deal with the mark of the beast foolishness. Man, this is 2017, let's put them superstitious business aside. Right? And I'm surprised to hear some men of the cloth who are going around peddling that nonsense. But then there are other things that men of the cloth are doing that are surprising me too.
Herman Green, TVJ News.
With the Christmas season in full swing, the mayor of Montego Bay is fearful that crime will affect business in the second city. Homer Davis is therefore calling on the police to take decisive action. With the number of murders in St. James already over the 300 mark, Mayor of Montego Bay, Homer Davis, says he's just as concerned as other residents.
What we are seeing down here is a type of gangland type activities that probably only see it in movies.
Now, the police argue that the majority of killings are linked to gangs and lottery scamming. Mayor Davis wants something to be done, as innocent people are sometimes caught in the crossfire due to sporadic shootings.
So they trail each other by using telephones and using other means, and they don't care where they are. They execute their vengeance, and in that process, innocent people got shot and killed. Children.
With 3 weeks before Christmas, the mayor is now calling on the police to take decisive action to curtail violence producers. A lack of action, he says, may have serious implications on the parish's economy during the busiest shopping period.
It reaches a point where, the citizens of Montego Bay and St. James in general are very fearful. And with the Christmas season coming, we might probably even see less people on the streets, and that would not be good for commerce or commercial activities.
A A motor vehicle accident claimed the life of a man in Portland this morning. Reports are that about 4:15, a Toyota motor car was heading towards Long Bay when the driver lost control of the vehicle after swinging from a pothole. The car then crashed into a wall. The victim's stepmother, Norma Powell, said she traveled with her stepson this morning.
Everything was okay. And then he took us up back. We say, okay, we are ready to go. And he took us up back. And then he leave us, and he dropped us, and he said he's going to come back to pick up his friend. And he make that trip okay. After he make that trip okay, I didn't even know that he come back down again. And then it was in the third trip that happened. This morning, we didn't need, I got up as yet. And we just see somebody come knock the door and was telling us that Jason died.
4 passengers who were injured in the accident remain in hospital. With a number of children being killed on the nation's roads, the government is moving to implement procedures to better protect them. Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucien Jones, says a policy forum has been organized to discuss the issue.
The FIA Foundation, which runs motorsports across the world, has come together with a group called Amend out of Africa, which has gotten commendations from the United Nations and WHO for its work in encouraging and working to have safe travel to schools for our school children. So it's a focus, the policy forum, the workshop, is going to focus on children, and therefore we have invited the Prime-Minister, the Minister of Education, and other officials to come and speak. But we are meeting together as people who direct policy.
An international entity will also assess the state of the roads.
Called IRAP, which country assigns a star to your roads, but there's 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and helps you to upgrade your road system so that we can have safe roads on which to travel.
Shockwaves through Jamaica this evening as news surfaced that well-known journalist Ian Boyne has been hospitalized. The Jamaica Information Service says it's a medical emergency. It's understood that Mr. Boyne is in serious condition. Ian Boyne, the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Information Service, is also a Gleaner columnist and host of Television Jamaica's Profile. His family is appealing to the media and other concerned friends and relatives to honor his privacy at this time. They are also asking the nation to continue praying for him. Having forked out billions in health insurance-related costs, the Insurance Association of Jamaica is calling for more public education so that Jamaicans can take better care of their health. TVJ's Giovanni Dennis has more.
Eat better, drink more water, and exercise more. It seems simple and inexpensive, but thousands of Jamaicans need more information about basic health practices. That's according to Orville Johnson, the Executive Director of the Insurance Association of Jamaica. He says the insurance industry paid over 17 billion Jamaican dollars on insurance claims in 2016, but the association would much prefer if Jamaicans take better care of their health.
So while we pay the claims and we are standing ready to pay the claims under our contract, we would prefer more persons to take their health in hand so it doesn't come to a case where they have a critical illness. As a result, over the years we have been putting on these health fairs. Today we are doing it at KPH so that we can get people to do their blood pressure checks, blood sugar checks, cholesterol and other checks.
Mr. Johnston insists that persons will make better choices if they have more information about non-communicable diseases.
We don't have the kind of resources to fund the health system the way we want, the public health system. So persons need to take things in their own hands. The insurance industry is a major contributor to the health system in Jamaica, the public health system.
He was speaking at a health fair at the Kingston Public Hospital, marking the culmination of the 240th anniversary of the healthcare facility yesterday. In the meantime, CEO of the KPH and the Victoria Jubilee Hospitals, Errol Green, says despite the pressures, the hospital is doing unprecedented work. He says the first blood transfusion surgery to an unborn child was successful, but that's not the only thing.
I've seen persons come in literally dead, no heartbeat, no pulse, and they walk out, walk on their own feet and leave the hospitals.
He also had a word of encouragement to the young volunteers who assisted the less fortunate at the health fair.
What pleases me and warms my heart more than anything else is to see the millennials out in their numbers. You look around and see the number of young people who are volunteering. We normally have a group, they call themselves the Bashi Bus, that they would come and they would do money and petty for the less fortunate.
Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
At least one community organization is against the hosting of a circus in Hanbury, Manchester. At a recent press briefing, the executive of the Hanbury Community Club said it doesn't want the event in the area. TVJ's Janella Pursues explains.
The circus is coming, but not all are happy, particularly residents of Hanbury, Manchester. Their concern is the use of the playing field in the community for the event. Vice President of the Community Club Executive Boise Swaby explained that when the idea was initially brought to the organization, it was flatly rejected.
We shared it among our executive and we disagreed about the use of our field because there's a lot of negatives to it in terms of the damage that will be done after this circus is completed. And furthermore, nobody contacted us in terms of having any form of discussion, right? We had our community meeting last Sunday. An invitation was extended for the persons to come. They said they couldn't have come to that meeting.
There was also an expectation that the event would have been held elsewhere. However, the promotion for the 12-day circus has intensified.
This is being promoted for Central Jamaica. The parking would have to be on our playfield, which would cause damage. We know that for this team to be on our playfield for 12 days, there will be major damage because cars will be parked, and remember we're in the rainy season right now, and these things will cause a lot of damage to our playfield. The other thing is that we know that from even a sanitary standpoint, right, the reality is that people will probably be urinating all over the place.
There are also concerns about safety and security, the people not giving much attention to the possible economic benefits of the event. Instead, they worry about the degradation of the playing field.
Our field is very dear to us because this field is what is keeping the community together. That's how we can get out the young people. If we backtrack a couple months ago, we had drug awareness programs, we had football training, we had reading programs, and that is because the kids come out to the field. So when they come out to the field, we can have audience with them. If our field is damaged by these people, there is no assurance of repairs to our field.
And so they're calling on the organizers to find another venue. Janella Precious, TVJ News.
Television Jamaica and Radio Jamaica scored big at the 2017 National Journalism Awards, winning 8 awards in 8 different categories, including that of Journalist of the Year. The team also received several certificates of merit for outstanding work between September 1 last year and August 2017. TVJ's Herman Green has highlights of the ceremony last night at the Courtly Auditorium.
It was a night to remember for journalists and media practitioners as the Press Association of Jamaica closed Journalism Week 2017 in fine style. Heading the list of awardees was TVJ's Andrea Chisholm, winning the Carl Winter Award for Best Feature in the Electronic Media category. The coverage of massive landslides which left residents marooned in East Portland. TVJ's Vashon Brown also won the prize for Best Television Feature, Peace, the Story of Augusttown. The award was shared with CVM's Brian Walker for the feature Hidden in Plain Sight. Glenford Campbell, also of Television Jamaica, got the Ken Dawson Award for Videography. That was for the documentary Waste. Janella Precious was also recognized for her work on that documentary, winning the Excellence in Reporting on the Environment. TVJ's Giovanni Dennis also won the UNICEF Award for Excellence in Reporting on Children's Rights for his radio feature dubbed Bullying, the Unchecked Monster. Mr. Dennis also copped the Electronic Award for News Journalism. For the second consecutive year, TVJ's Jordan Fort won the award for Sports Journalism in the Electronic category for his series of stories on the swimming controversy. Cyrano Baines from The Gleaner was named the Young Journalist of the Year. The award was collected by one of his colleagues. Now, the premier award, Journalist of the Year 2017, went to TVJ's Andrea Chisholm. Ms. Chisholm was the PAJ's Young Journalist of the Year in 2009 and is the second person so far to win both the Young Journalist and then the Journalist of the Year title. For the President's Award for Investigative Journalism, that went to the Nationwide News team for their stories on the Moravian sex scandal. TVJ's team of Milton Walker, Archibald Gordon, and Andrea Chisholm also received a Certificate of Merit in that category for stories on the Finance Minister's huge cell phone bill. Vashon Brown and Giovanni Dennis also received Certificates of Merit for the Agriculture as well as the Health and Wellness categories. The Gleaner Company, the Jamaica Observer, Business Access TV, and IRI FM also received awards last night. Herman Green, TVJ News.
And the primetime news package continues with the business review and international stories right after this break.
Primetime News is brought to you by...
No matter how small or big your dreams are, make it happen with Sagicor Bank. Experience Sagicor Bank. Sagicor Life, the life and health insurance company with very fast claim turnaround times. Let us put a smile on your face. The time by Sagicor Life is
7:20.
Winner, winner, $1 million winner.
VMBS just sweeten up the winnings with a bonus prize winner in the VMBS $1 Million Club promotion. Deposit $20,000 or more by December 29, 2017, and you could be one of 2 lucky winners to start the new year $1 million richer. Not just one more, but 2 winners will be selected in the final draw. Don't miss your chance to win. Call 754-8627 or visit www.vmbs.com for details.
Conditions apply.
This Christmas, Cash Pot and give me a better chance to win enough more.
This Christmas, more Daphne Sabas.
From December 3 only at Supreme Ventures.
Lucky Marimania at this season. Only a Lucky Dollar Furniture and Appliance Store. Free iron, free printer, and more with selected purchase. Plus, don't miss your chance to win a share of $2.5 million cash. 12 winners including 2 millionaires. And don't worry about the money. Just $5 down for 24 to 30 months credit. It's massive. Come, shop a Lucky Dollar for Marimania deals. And fridge, stove, dresser, mattress, and more. You can't go wrong a Lucky Dollar. See the details. Up until December 31. Conditions apply.
Business Review this week, part 2 of the digital switchover, what it is and how it will affect consumers and broadcasters. Here's TVJ's Dashan Hendricks.
The timeline for digital switchover in Jamaica has been shifting. The last timeline was for the switch to start in next year, but the country is far behind making plans. CEO of Radio Jamaica Limited, Gary Allen, says several factors are responsible for the delay. One, the country is yet to choose the digital standard to be used for broadcasts after the switch.
There are 5 standards out there. If you are saying that we are going to change, what are we changing Jamaica to? Is the one nearest to us, the US, which is not the best quality? Or is it the Brazilian, which is the best quality? Or is it the one that most people in the world have gone to, which is the European, which is good quality but not the best of them all?
Mr. Allen says he favors the Brazilian standard because it presents opportunities for TV stations and consumers. For TV stations, it could bring revenues from new non-TV services.
My understanding of the ISDBT service which the Brazilians operate is that you can actually make phone calls, telephone, from one TV service to another, one TV set to another TV set-top box on the same network. If that is something under the model under the format that we go, will they allow us then to be able to have that as a new business stream?
But additional services aside, Mr. Allen says he's still not clear if digital switchover will allow him to add channels to Radio Jamaica's TV lineup.
We would love to go beyond that and to be able to, one, operate digital transmitters that can put out several channels. Regulators have to decide if that's the model that they are going to encourage. Can I put out TVJ 1, TVJ Sports, TVJ Music, TVJ Youth under my license? If you are allowing me to do that, then what is the digital license that is going to permit that?
All in all, Mr. Allen says 7 years of talks over digital switchover need to move forward. The talks, he says, are too infrequent to get anything done quickly. He now urges the government through the Broadcasting Commission to hold more frequent meetings and set a definite date and the standard to be adopted for digital switchover. Television Jamaica is spending over $1 billion this year to get ready, and he said though it's late, 2018 could still be a start date.
We should not get to the end of December without a sign-off with the broadcasters, the regulators, the policymakers on what the framework is, on what the dates are, on what the stages of that process is. If we go beyond December this year without those decisions, I think that we are going to be in a problem being able to do digital switchover before 2022.
This administration will do all that we can do and need to do to make sure we sensitize the country. We continue to engage all our stakeholders and make sure that when a decision is made, there is a seamless transition and that there is no disturbance or uncertainty in the industry.
For the Business Review, I am Dashan Hendricks.
Business Review brought to you by
BMBS just sweeten up the winnings with a bonus prize winner in the BMBS $1 Million Club promotion. Don't miss your chance to win.
Conditions apply.
In news overseas, 13 people are dead and 2 missing after a fishing vessel collided with a refueling tanker off the South Korean coast early Sunday morning. 20 passengers and 2 crew members were on board the chartered fishing boat when it crashed into the 336-ton tanker. It then capsized. The fishing expedition left 6 a.m. Sunday after the Coast Guard reportedly said the weather was fit for fishing. 9 minutes later, however, the first distress call came in. And the primetime news package continues with sports right after the break. Your presenter will be TVJ's Karen Madden.